What's up YouTube, back with another video. I wanted to start a little mini-series, and this is going to be the first video in that series, titled What I Wish I Knew When I Started Lifting. Excuse me. So, first one, today's video, I want to keep this short and to the point, is about cardio. So basically, when I first started lifting, I did a lot of cardio, and we're talking every single day, going for roughly a 5k run, if not more. Now, I was doing this well before I actually started lifting as well, so I had got pretty thin and didn't have much muscle mass at all when I actually started lifting because of all the running. But what I did wrong was I kept up the same kind of running regimen when I started lifting, and now while the running itself it's not terrible to be doing cardio while you're bulking. I actually have already done a video about what kind of cardio you should be doing depending on what your goals are, and I'll post a link to that right here. But what I was doing was continually doing that like 5 to 8k run every single day, in conjunction with not eating enough food, meant that I was really not giving my body enough fuel or energy to actually build muscle. And the other thing I was doing wrong was I was actually doing cardio before I went to the gym. So I was going for my run, 25-40 minutes, and then I would come home and I would go and lift. And so basically I'd wasted all this energy, well, not wasted, I'd used all this energy running and I'd then go to lift, and obviously I couldn't lift as much, I couldn't lift as heavy, I couldn't lift for as long because I was already pretty fatigued from running, and I didn't have any food in between. It was just straight running, gym, done. And that really wasn't a good idea, because the first few years of lifting I really didn't make much progress at all. I saw changes in definition, because I stayed fairly lean, even though I was trying to bulk up, but I really had no idea what I was doing, because, as I say, running every day was counterproductive to trying to build muscle. And so that, if there was one thing I would say to newbies about getting into lifting, it would be limit your cardio, because I don't want to say that cardio is bad. I think it's a good idea for just general health benefits to do a little bit of cardio, whether that's running, walking, cycling, rowing, swimming, or some kind of circuit or sport activity, whatever. Some cardio, it's fine, but you have to realize that, one, if you're doing cardio and you're trying to bulk up, you're trying to put on muscle, then first things first, do it after you've done your weight training, because that way you've put most of your energy into the weight training, and what energy you have left over goes to your cardio. Theoretically, you wouldn't have as much energy for that cardio, and so you wouldn't end up burning as many calories. That's theoretically. It's not necessarily going to happen that way, but that's kind of the way you look at it. And the second thing would be that if you are doing cardio, you need to compensate with your food. Now, I will do another video talking about food, because I have a few little topics for this series, but the basic one of this is limit your cardio. Too much cardio can be damaging for your gains, especially if you aren't eating enough, because that's the key to building muscle, really. Now, this probably sounds stupid, but the key thing to take away from this video would be that cardio doesn't build muscle. Sounds pretty stupid, I know, and I guess that's kind of what I thought when I started lifting, because I kept doing it so much. And I was sort of like, well, if I keep doing cardio, I'll look really good, because I'll have lost some weight and I'll be thin. But that was the problem. I was thin and basically had no muscle mass in behind, and so cardio lost the burnt fat. But the thing is, cardio obviously also burns muscle, and your body would rather hold on to fat than muscle. So whenever you're in a deficit and whenever you're using energy, if the energy is not coming from food that you've like eaten a little bit before, then your body's more than likely going to say, hey, look at this muscle, I'm going to burn that first because I'd rather hold on to the fat because it's easier to maintain, and I'll just get rid of this muscle. Which is why when you are in a deficit, when you're cutting, it's a good thing to keep up with strength training and to do weight training, because that way you can maintain as much muscle mass as possible, because you're putting the muscles under stress and you're still kind of building them. Obviously you're not building them as much because you're in a deficit, and maybe not at all because you're in a deficit, but you're giving your body a reason to keep the muscle by continually training it. If you do too much cardio and you burn too much energy, then unfortunately, even with weight training, if you did too much cardio, you would burn more muscle. The more weight you lose, the more muscle you lose. You can limit it by staying active in the gym, lifting weights. However, you have to remember that you are always going to lose some muscle when cutting. And so I think that's something I had no idea about. So if you want to do cardio, yes, go ahead, make sure you check out that video I linked to see what kind of cardio might be best for you and your goals. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. So thank you guys for watching. More to come in this series and more videos to come very soon. I'll see you all later.